5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
Holiday Doctor away 264 is what we're on. It's hard to keep up. We are well over the 200s now, so it's a humble flex there. I mean, we should at the moment technically be at 280 something. So let me humble myself right now. We got some sad news, guys. We got some depressing news, and I'm sorry to sort of bring you down to earth. I'm sorry to ruin your day if you was having a good one, but I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy in the conversation who you're having a great time, laughing along, and I come and drop the news. I'm adopted. My family never loved me. My uncle was a convicted murderer who murdered one half of my family, and all this, and it kind of just killed the mood. Bobby's dead. Bobby's died. Rest in peace, Bobby, the dog. Not Bobby Olthoff, the now popular podcaster. That would be no, the dog, the 31-year-old dog, world record holder. I spoke about that. I think he was Portuguese, the dog, Portuguesa, called Bobby, spelt the same way. Actually, I think one B, but spelled with an I. 31, man, that's crazy for a dog. It gets to a point where it's almost like, is this animal cruelty to make this thing live on? I don't know. I've never seen any pictures of it moving. I mean, well, obviously they're pictures. I've never seen a video of it, basically. I've never seen sort of moving pictures, yeah, you're trying to describe video, mate. Yeah, I've never seen a video, basically, of the dog. I've only ever seen pictures. And it's always standing with that same little hunch over as you would expect. And I don't know if it can move. I don't know if it's permanently, if it's just basically a soul in a dormant in a dog's outer shell. I'm not sure, but it's crazy because I feel like once your dog gets past the average age of a dog, almost every day you're like expecting the dog to die. It's like, surely once the dog's like 26, you're like, okay, this obviously is already ridiculous. We're not going to get to the world record, but imagine we did. Every day you kind of wake up, or every day you walk home and you don't hear the dog like sort of run to you or whatever. Every day you call the dog, it doesn't immediately look over to you. Every single time it's sleeping, you're like, is it breathing? Every day you're like, is it dead yet? It gets to a point where it's like a game. Is it? Oh no. Tomorrow? Is it now? Awake? Oh, it's awake. It's like, it's just constant. It's almost worse than if the dog just died at like 16 or something. Because I guarantee you, for the last 16 years, that's probably how you've been thinking. Surely now. Oh, stomach don't. Oh no, it's still going. Still going. It's kind of like when like a royal person, not any person, like old people, right? When they're just living forever. They're just eternal life, sipping on whatever blood sources they need to cough dodging a lot, right? But then one of them dies, and then the other one dies next week, so they've got nothing to live for. It's almost like, and this was maybe a couple months ago, but still relatively recent, right? It's like he wanted the world record, like he wanted legacy, he wanted to be remembered, like he kind of knew, I've got a purpose here. I'm gunning for it, and then once he got it, he could rest easy. I mean, he extended the streak a little bit just to, he didn't want to just beat it by a couple of days. He really hung out there just to really sort of. It's like when you beat a world record and you're still sprinting, like you're ahead of the time, but you're still sprinting because you want to like make you really want to like It's like that. He kind of wanted to make a statement, but still, he had purpose, man. He was going for something, and we will remember him. I mean, I didn't even know who he was until we. This is what I mean. I didn't even know who he was till he put on the mask. I didn't even know who he was till he won the record. But let that be. Saw that on like Twitter or TikTok, which is where I see most of this random, irrelevant nonsense that I ramble on about on a pod a day. But what else are you going to talk about when you do these daily? Something else I saw, which I can only describe as insanity. But on TikTok, there is nothing's insane. Just record everything and it's a TikTok. I saw a TikTok of like this girl. Here's the thing, right? With TikTok, obviously, you gotta take this into account. I said everything I see, whether it's even not even that like absurd, I'm like, yeah, it could be. It's so easy to fake though. It's just probably fake. Um, but a girl put it's just like music in the background. It's like POV. You traveled 10 hours. It was like my boyfriend blocked me, so I traveled. My ex-boyfriend blocked me, so I traveled 10 hours to his house in Norway or something to confront him or like speak with him. And like this is music in the background, like this is like really romantic or like wow, it's I can't remember what the music was like. Somewhere only we know, this could be like she's walking through like she's getting like seven trains, horseback carriage, fucking, she's parachute like she's getting trams and shit. She's just getting every kind of mode of transport you can imagine. She's like on a Segway, right? And then she ends up at this guy's gaff, and she's like, "Now I'm waiting outside 30 minutes because I'm so nervous." And like that. It's like, again, she could just be traveling anywhere, traveling home, and she just made this TikTok because it's whatever, right? And half of me was like, I'm like watching the whole thing, like, is there a punchline at the end? No, no. This I meant to take this as a genuine TikTok, so like, it's more fun to imagine it just is real and just throw it being fake out the window, right? It's like crazy enough to like get blocked by someone and think that if you then showed up at their house after being blocked, they would have any reaction outside of anger or like sort of creeped outness, maybe. If they blocked you, whether you think it was fair or not, you were blocked, right? It's then extra crazy to record yourself doing it like it's romantic and post it as a TikTok. And also like to mention, the TikTok ends when it's like, I'm here now, and then it's like text comes up on screen, pacing outside for 30 minutes because I'm just so nervous to go knock on the door. And it's like finally knocking on the door, and then it ends. So, like in my mind, if it was a positive reaction, you would also have that in the TikTok maybe, or you would like at least have something come up and say, oh, we're back together, So what I imagine happened is she knocked on the door, still holding a camera for her TikTok video, right? He answered it, was like, "What the fuck, you crazy?" Or like his mom did or something. And then he like was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Nate in Euphoria, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that kind of happened. And then she traveled 10 hours back home and then still edited the TikTok like it was a romantic thing, posted it after being told she was insane, and still posted it just with no happy ending. And we just won't talk about what happens at the end. What? But was he happy? Was he sad? What was the reaction? Nah, just don't worry about it. Insane, crazy. Don't do that. Also, how much money would you have had to have spent? She was like getting plane tickets and like, you were blocked, man. Also, it was like ex-boyfriend. Anyway, it's just kind of crazy. I don't know what either party looks like. It was kind of just like a POV thing. I just feel like the thing is, it's not even that absurd of a TikTok. But I look at that and immediately just go, yeah, it's probably not even real. It's probably just fake. Because I just can't imagine why you would even like. I get it, right? It's like a late night text type thing. Okay, it happens. I get it if it's like he lives down the road and it's like, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. But because he lives down the road, it's just like an impulse thing. You could just go do it. This, you had to like book flights, you had to get on a plane, you had to like, you were filming it the whole time, you edited it, you're getting on this, you're getting on that, it's snowing and this. And not at one point, you just sort of, snap back to reality. Oh, they got, you know what I mean? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. But yeah, I saw that. Anything else I see on TikTok that was just kind of weird? I mean, I saw like this clip. It was like again, this isn't even that absurd. Like, this is not crazy at all. And I immediately just go, this has to be fake. This has to, like, the caption has to be like kind of a joke, like playing along. It's like the caption is as a big fan of art, this literally is art heaven or art ecstasy or some shit like that. And the video is what I can only describe as some of the most tacky kind of. Do you remember that picture of those? They could look like they were like this couple. Looks like, to me, look like they could be from Essex or maybe like Newcastle or maybe they're from Birmingham, considering the picture. But they got like the two of them. They're in the house. It's sort of like crushed velvet. Is that what it's called? Like grey and white house kind of thing going on. They're kind of standing there with their like whitened teeth, like so white. They don't need flash, or they would need flash to counterbalance the flash coming out of the camera, I guess. Kind of standing there in the house, and above their stairs, almost like their Anfield sign. If you know that they tap every single time they go down in the morning for a cuppa, right? A huge, right? Portrait that almost looks like it was commissioned. I don't know if they just bought it off Etsy or something, if they got that personally made, of Tommy Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy. A huge sort of face profile portrait. And when I say huge, you're not thinking big enough. Think bigger, okay? Think bigger as a people. Bigger than A3. Like, I don't know what's bigger than A1. I don't know what size that would be. Kind of like the size of I don't know. Just a very, very large. Like, it wouldn't fit in the shot right now. The shot, like I'm fucking Christopher Nolan. In the rectangle you're seeing me in, he wouldn't fit, right? Of Cillian Murphy just above their stairs, like, yeah, we're into art. We've got this, we just really liked Peaky Blinders and everything he stood for. Like, why would you have that in your house? Just crazy, right? That kind of shit, though. It was like sort of golden guns, but like encased in like blocks of metal and shit, and like sort of glass tables that have like poker cards in it. It was like dogs playing poker type shit, right? And I'm like, surely this is fake. That's like a fake caption because it's so like tacky, or like, I don't know what the right word is. Tacky almost doesn't feel like the right word for it. But I guess that's the closest word I got right now. But at the same time, these people obviously do exist who like that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with liking it. I just personally think it's kind of crazy. But like, basically, if you've ever seen Chris Brown's house, then obviously these people exist. Like Chris Brown's floorboard, like his flooring, he has like this red galaxy floor. He's like got my flooring taken out, right? So just normal wooden floors, whatever the fuck it was, right? And now it's like this sort of like, it looks like you're in Cineworld, that's kind of an English thing, but like the cinema, right? You go in there and like the floor's like black and sparkly, kind of galaxy looking, right? It's like that, but it's like red flooring, and he's got like bike tires up on the wall, and like chimps with like percussion instruments and shit, and like cymbals, and like I can't even remember, just like weird shit, like I don't know, like when you're 6 and you're like, oh, if I could have my own house, and you like draw a picture of it, and you got like a slide coming out the ceiling, and you got like huge ape costume, like you just like racking random shit that you think would be cool, right? Is like Chris Brown's house. So these people exist. The caption was like, this kind of art is like Andrew Tate Modern, which you get Tate Modern's like an art gallery, but like I just don't get it, man. To go crazy for that kind of shit, like I can't even describe some of it. It was not it. The Tommy Shelby post is the one that gets me the most, because like, yeah, okay, Chris Brown's house is just wacko crazy and shit, and it's like, okay, but if that's what you're into. Whereas the Tommy Shelby poster is like, they just have that classic Essex style looking house, like the grey and white kind of house with the carpet and shit. But then they also just have a huge poster of Tommy Shelby. It's just like, some people just love Tommy Shelby. It's like that, like, it's very important to them that they love it, and that's like something they can be happy about. Like, I was watching an Angry Ginge stream once, and when he rages, he just says random shit. And one of them just made me laugh. He was like, your dad wears a farmer's cap and thinks he's Tommy Shelby. And it's just like, it's the type of people who just love Conor McGregor. I was going to say people who love Conor McGregor. Well, actually, thinking about it, just straight up Conor McGregor. Like the way he kind of goes around in his suit, and that, like you're actually in like an 80s sort of gangster film. Like kind of just like smoking cigars that are way too big type thing. It's just like, it's not the 1900s. We're not protecting the garrison, like it's insane. Anyway though, I got like another one of these to do, and then a Formula One ep. It's one of those days where I just got a bunch of bullshit to do. Let's just be fucking real. But thank you very much for listening to that bullshit. Not my best episode, but It'll do. It'll do. You know, basically just talking about a bunch of TikToks. It's not exactly prime television, but you know. This was 264. See you in 265.
Here with the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,